Yo, what's up guys? Kevin here. Welcome to the Snowboard Pro Camp live chat. Coming to you guys from Zermatt, Switzerland. We'll be on here for the next hour to answer all your snowboard questions. So hit me up with anything that is on your mind. This past week, I've been snowboarding here at the Snowpark at Zermatt. Been having an amazing time being able to ride park, progress with some tricks, and get out a few videos for you guys as well. There's a couple of videos on the way, so stay tuned for those. So to be on here to talk to you guys. Let's see who's on the chat early. Give a few shout outs and then we'll get into some questions. We got Felix on here, Malik, what's up guys, Lucas, JM, Adrius, Leon, Stoke Dog 8, Tommy Bennett is on here. What's up Tommy, man? Hope you're doing well. Marius, the 21 kid, Red's Cap, what's up man? Yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in early. Yeah, quick update on the park as well up here in Zermatt. Been having a great time. It's definitely like exceeded my expectations in terms of like how big these mountains are, the whole like experience of being in Zermatt. So it's really incredible place. The Matterhorn Mountain is like a sight to see. And just also like the terrain park itself, been having a great time in the park. Really good lines, really flowy. They've got like a mix of beginner features, jumps, tubes, rails, kind of something for everybody. So it's been really fun to progress in the park here in Switzerland and Zermatt. If you guys get the chance, I would recommend it, highly recommend it. Come out here one day. It's like a once in a lifetime experience. So. And I can't even imagine what this place would be like in the winter time. And the 21 Kidman says, you should come out to Ohio to snowboard. Yeah, maybe at some point. Ohio, that's yeah, where do you snowboard in Ohio? There must be some small resorts there. JM from Germany, what's up, man? Oh, Rachel wants to know, what's the temperature in Zermatt? It's been pretty hot. So in the village area, so here we're at about, I don't know, like 3,000 or 5,000 feet, and it feels like it's like 25, 30 degrees Celsius. And up on the glacier, it's around like 12,000 feet, and it feels warm. It feels like 15 degrees. But it says it's only like 5 or 10, but it's like hot up on the mountain. So I'm just wearing like a long sleeve t-shirt and lots of sunscreen. But yeah, it's been pretty warm. K00 saying I watch a lot of your so good at snowboarding. Awesome, thanks. Keep up your good content. Yeah, we'll keep it rolling for sure. Justin has a good question. Advice for an intermediate rider moving from East Coast to Colorado. Never been out west. Awesome, man. Justin, yeah, you're going to have a blast. You're going to have such a good time, man. Intermediate rider, I would say just the best advice moving it west is to progress slowly, because when you get out there, the mountain is going to feel like huge. Your legs are probably not going to be used to riding a mountain that big. And also the elevation is going to be something new for you to experience as well. So I would say ease into it. You know, take your time at the beginning of the season. Work on your fundamentals. If it's like, if you want to progress with your riding, just like, you know, work on things and take your time doing it. So don't push yourself too hard, because those mountains are so big and there's so many new things for you to discover in those massive mountains that you don't want to kind of tackle it too quickly. I know sometimes people, when they move out to the mountains for the first time, they can get like a small injury or something to set them back. And I think that's just from trying to do too much too soon. So yeah, take your time. It's going to be like massive and tons to explore. So just ease your way into it. And I think like after a few days or a few weeks of being up at the elevation, you'll get used to that as well. And yeah, just have fun and don't spend all your money the first month. Kind of, yeah, just have a good time. But Yeah, play it safe and plan on being there for the long term. I think that's the best bet. Royston Creets saying, any thoughts on the new Burton Fish? Yeah, I think I've seen the newest one. So the Burton Fish has got a lot of that 3D tech built into it. And yeah, I think the Fish looks like a really fun powder board. So like really fun, especially for like riding through trees. And I would say more like intermediate style tree terrain. So powder and trees that aren't like super steep or super aggressive, but for sort of like mellow trees, deep powder where you need that float. I think the Fish is going to be amazing. But yeah, I love the 3D contours. I love how snowboard companies are putting a lot of that 3D technology into their boards now. And I'm sure for powder, like the ability, so with the powder board and having that big fat nose and the small tail, being able to rock back and forth even more smoothly because of the 3D contours is going to make that board really fun. So yeah, I would love to give it a try. You know, maybe I'll pick one up, but yeah, it looks like an awesome board. DT says, Kevin, London Indoor Snow Center is opening tomorrow. Are you coming after Switzerland? Possibly, yeah. Maybe we'll make the trip to an indoor slope in London. That'd be super fun. Are you talking about Hemel Hempstead? Is that the spot? Yeah, might make it over. Dhananjay saying, hey from India. What's up? What's up, everyone in India? Maybe might be snowboarding in Kashmir next year. We'll find out. Red saying, hit the like button. Awesome. Thanks, Reggie, for the support. 21 likes. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in and for the likes. Marius wants to know, how is the snow conditions at Zermatt? Here in Hintertux, the snow gets sticky at 11 a.m., but before it's so delicious. Awesome, Marius. Yeah, I would say in the mornings, so we usually arrive at 9 and it's firm. So it's like a bit more icy and firm, but around like between 10 and 11, it starts to like soften up and have that like sweet spot. And then between 11 and 1, it's soft, but it's not like overly slushy. So it's not like a complete slush fest or anything. So there's a couple hours. Honestly, the first thing in the morning, it's a bit icy, but then after it softens up with the sun and the heat, it just, for me, it's like perfect. It's the perfect condition. So you get about 2.5 hours of just like perfect, soft snow conditions. And yeah, it's been super fun. Not too slushy. I think if the park was open any later past 1, I could definitely see it getting just too slushy and messy. But yeah, it's awesome. Loving it. Justin says, YouTube Mad River Mountain in Ohio. All right, that's an easy one to remember. Mad River Mountain, awesome. Luca is saying Capita Outsiders or GNU Headspace for Zermatt. Oh man, that's a tough question. So this board back here behind me, Capita Outsiders, it's the board I've been riding here in Zermatt, and I've been really enjoying it. So it's a stiffer board. It's stiffer than the Headspace. It's probably like a 6 out of 10, where the Headspace is like a 3.5, maybe 3.5 or a 4. So I do like the stiffer board, and it's also more camber dominant. So both boards are camber, but I would say the Outsiders feels even more camber dominant than the Headspace. It's probably because of the stiffness of it as well, and you can really feel that camber more. So for me, I like at the moment, I'm preferring the Outsiders because for the park, having that stiffer board is helping me to just be more stable as I ride through the park. So when I'm riding at higher speeds, I feel more stable on a stiffer board. And also when I'm getting my board sideways on a tube or rail, it's feeling like the board is like supporting my weight more. So I'm like I'm a bit of a larger guy, so I'm 6'3", about 185 pounds, and I was feeling like the headspace in Zermatt for me maybe would be like a bit too soft and too flexible. I think the headspace is still one of my favorite park boards. I think I would highly recommend it to like beginner, intermediate riders. It's such like a fun park board. But for more speed and like for hitting bigger features, I think the Outsiders is better. So the Headspace I think is better for small features, small jumps. If I was like in a small park, I'd probably go with the Headspace. Or like on a really icy days, I think the Headspace is better. But in this park, for going at higher speeds, for helping me to ride out of tricks, I feel like the Capita Outsiders is coming through. So yeah, for me, at the moment would prefer the Outsiders for Zermatt. And all right, somebody mentioning the park at Keystone. Yeah, looking forward to getting back to Keystone. Bad Riders, Adam, what's up, man, from Australia, coming through with the super chat. Thanks for the support, man. Says, hey, Kev, love the last vids. Also dug the feedback on the horoscope. How's it compared to the DOA in all mountain riding? Shout out DWCP. So the horoscope compared to, are you talking about the horoscope or the Outsiders? I feel like maybe you mean the Outsiders. Maybe you can like clarify it, Adam. But yeah, the Outsiders compared to the DOA, I feel like the Outsiders is maybe not quite as stiff. The DOA might be still slightly stiffer. So yeah, that's the main difference. It is similar to the DOA. I would say it's similar, maybe just not quite as stiff. But let me know if that's what you meant. But yeah, thanks for the support, man. Wilburine saying, you are the reason why I know how to snowboard. Awesome, man. Thanks for checking out the videos. And Josh saying, hey, man, good to see you back on the mountain. Yeah, it's been, it was a long break, but yeah, stoked to be back. The trip out to Switzerland was worth it. But yeah, I hope everything opens up for everyone out there as well very soon. Stoke Dog 8. How long does it take to ride all the gondolas to the terrain park from the bottom of the mountain? So I would say, so we leave the house at maybe 8:15. It's a 10-minute walk to the gondola, and then the gondola ride is probably a half an hour, and then it's another short walk and then ride to the park. So it takes about an hour, maybe just over, maybe an hour and 15 minutes to get to the park from my door here. But yeah, the gondola rides are about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. So maybe not 40 minutes actually. It's like a half an hour. Like if everything runs smooth and there's no lines, it's like a half an hour. But definitely like one of the longest gondola rides of my life, and also some of the most like impressive mountains surrounding everywhere up here. So yeah, it's crazy. Ramy coming through with the super chat from Canada. Thanks for the support, man. He says, Kevin, comparing Zermatt's summer terrain park to Timberline High Cascade, what's your opinion? I just saw your photo, seems much bigger. Amazing. Awesome. Thanks, Ramy. Yeah, they're comparable. I would say that they each have some like pros and cons. The nice thing about here is that there's a T-bar. So the T-bar like helps you to get quick laps a bit easier than the tow rope at High Cascade. So the T-bar is nice, although the line here kind of, I think the line here is definitely shorter than the line at High Cascade, but it does fluctuate. Sometimes it gets loaded up with ski racers. And then in terms of the park itself, I would say I think you can hit more features here in a row. So the mix of like boxes and rails, there's definitely like you can string together more features here definitely. But the jumps, are probably better at high Cascade. So the jump line at high Cascade, even if it's only like the 2 or 3 jumps that they would have at high Cascade, I would say those jumps are better. The jumps here, I feel like for some reason they're just not as, the snow quality is maybe not there to set them up ideally. So the jumps better at high Cascade, but boxes and rails, I would say better here. And I think there's more, yeah, it's tough to say because high Cascade Park kind of changes sometime. But yeah, they're comparable. They both have their pros and cons, and yeah, the both parks I would say are great, but really enjoying the Zermatt one here. Yeah, but yeah, missing the high Cascade jumps, but it's super nice here to be able to string together like a line where you can hit 7 or 8 or 9 features all in one lap. So that's pretty cool. Oh, Bad Rider saying, I meant the Outsiders. I'm on my 14th hour of work. Sorry, Kev. Yeah, I thought maybe that was the case, Adam. But yeah, man, it's definitely comparable. Very similar boards. I feel like, yeah, the Outsiders is just maybe a bit softer. But other than that, they're like very similar. Board M saying, yo, Kevin, I hope you're having a good time. Yeah, amazing time here in Switzerland. Yeah, we're actually thinking about extending the trip. So we were only supposed to be here for August and leaving here August 15th and going to the UK for a bit. Actually come back after that and stay for a bit longer. So we're working out some plans, but it's, yeah, it's so good here. We may actually end up staying longer. Tom wants to know, what is the current situation with lifts and queues regarding Corona? What rules are in place? So you do have to wear like a proper like face mask anytime you're on the chairlift or gondolas or in any of the lines that are like I guess inside. So all those chairs and gondolas, you have to wear your mask, and you can't just wear your like snowboard mask. It's got to be like a proper I don't know what you would call it, like a medical mask. So I keep one of those in my snowboard pants pockets, and anytime I'm around the chair or gondola, I just throw that on. But once you're out snowboarding and in the lines, then everyone's got their face masks on. Or yeah, I don't think there's any protocol like when you're out actually riding. And then they have like the tape on the floor as well to keep people sort of like separated. And I've noticed that the gondolas aren't really filling up. There's maybe like 2 or 3 people per gondola on the smaller ones, and then the massive ones, even then, there's only maybe say 7 or 8 people in the big gondolas. So you're not like elbow to elbow with people. Everyone's fairly spaced out, and yeah, everyone's got their masks on inside the gondolas. Dalton Craig with the super chat. Thanks for the support, Dalton. He says, what's your thoughts on the Warpig as a daily driver? Gonna try to hit park a bit more this season. Any better options? Shalom, Rafiki. Awesome. I don't know what that last part meant, but yeah, thank you, man. The Warpig as a daily driver. Yeah, I actually haven't ridden the Warpig, but I know that a lot of people love that board. So I think it's like a mid-flexing board that you can take into the park or the rest of the mountain. And I think it's like naturally a little bit wider too. So if you like, if you have larger feet, like over size 11, then the Warpig is a good one. But yeah, like if it kind of, I would say it depends on what you want to do more. So if you want to progress more in the park and that's like your main thing, I would maybe look at a more park-specific board, maybe something like the GNU Headspace, but or something in the ride line as well. But yeah, if you want to do a bit of everything, and riding the rest of the mountain is just as important to you as riding in the park, then the Warpig may be the perfect choice. I would say that would be the main thing. It's like if you love riding powder and groomers just as much as you love riding in the park, then the Warpig is like that kind of like happy medium. But yeah, thank you, Dalton, for the support, and good question, man. Rachel saying, do you have any other any trips planned besides India, Kashmir next year, or places you would like to go? So at the moment, yeah, everything is kind of up in the air at the moment because of everything that's going on in the world with like limiting travel. But Kashmir would definitely be my number one. Also, Japan. Love going to Japan. I want to get back down to a few different places in the U.S. So I had a great time riding at Bear Mountain. Maybe another spot in California as well. Maybe around Lake Tahoe somewhere. And I've never been riding in Utah, and Utah looks incredible as well. So maybe hit up Park City. So yeah, those are a few of the places. Yeah, and then hopefully next summer be able to go to New Zealand again, and Chile or Argentina, maybe Australia. So yeah, I'm missing all the Southern Hemisphere spots as well. But yeah, this winter, yeah, I don't know. There's so many, there's so many places. But yeah, it would be great to get it back out to Jackson Hole and Grand Targhee again as well, because the snow there is great too. DT asks, Kevin, how expensive is Switzerland? With a big happy smiley face. Yeah, Switzerland is expensive. So yeah, what's like an example? So on the mountain, we got a hamburger. So I shared a hamburger with Jill, and hamburger, fries, two bottled drinks, and a couple ketchups and mustard. And I think it was like 43 francs, which works out to be around 60 Canadian maybe. So it's like 1.5 for Canadian dollars. So maybe even a bit more than that. But yeah, it's expensive. Yeah, like some food, like just like an entree, just a main meal at a restaurant here is a bit, maybe like at the low end, like 25 Swiss francs. So that would be like $40 Canadian. So yeah, it's expensive. But yeah, we have a kitchen at our place here, so we've been getting a ton of groceries and making like 90% of our meals at home. So breakfast, lunches, and dinners have all been at home. And Marius with the super chat, thanks for the support, man. And yeah, he's put a sticker down. Thank you, Marius. Awesome. Thanks for the support, man. And Ale Chiro saying, hey, Kevin, would you recommend the Orca for all mountain Europe, icy conditions, and backcountry? Yeah, definitely. Like since I've been here and like looking at the Swiss Alps and like how massive these mountains are, how steep and wide and huge, and I can imagine at times they get fairly icy. Yeah, I would want to have a board that was somewhat aggressive and that had even some magnet traction on it for extra edge hold. So something like the Orca is perfect. You can look at other boards that have those like multiple contact points down the side of the edge. So like a Jones board, like the probably like I would probably go for an aggressive Jones board here. So recently I picked up the Ultra Mind Expander, which is mega aggressive, stiff board. So something like that would be good for all mountain here in the Alps. A friend of ours has the Brian Iguchi Pro by Arbor. So like that board I think would be great. It doesn't have magnet traction, but it's got Arbor's grip tech, so those added contact points. So that's the type of board I would go for. I'd look for a board, and also a board that had a tail. So for like big mountain aggressive riding, I would definitely, a swallowtail would maybe not be enough for me. I think I would want to have a board with a decent enough size tail. So yeah, in these big mountains, I'd look for a stiff board, something with the multiple contact points like magnet traction down the side, and yeah, like a full board too with the full tail. because yeah, these mountains are just huge, and I can imagine if you're on the side of a steep face and you want a board that really has your back. And I would go for like a set of stiff bindings to go with that too. Something like the Union Atlas, or Now Drive, something that's a stiffer binding for that aggressive style of riding. Bad Riders with another super chat. Thanks, Adam. Says, see, there's renewed interest in the mask, Kev. Yeah, you got to. Well, it's kind of all over the place. Some spots you do need a mask, and some spots you don't. But you have to have the mask for sure for the mountain, or else they won't. Like I'm sure they'd miss you, but yeah, they're everyone's checking and making sure that you're wearing something. And Maria is saying they tolerate balaclavas as face masks here. Okay, cool. So that's in Hintertux then. You can do that. And Vanessa is saying hello from Melbourne, Australia, 2:30 a.m. here. What's up, Vanessa? Yeah, thanks for staying up late. Wow, I didn't realize that that's the time there. And James wants to know, Kevin, is your old channel Kevin X540? I think it could be. Yeah, I had that email address when I was in high school. So maybe that was my first personal YouTube channel. Yeah, that is mine. SB saying, what do you think of Never Summer? So I've never ridden a Never Summer snowboard, but I've talked to some people about them, and the people I've talked to like really love them. And I was considering buying the Never Summer Swift. So it looks like a really fun powder board. And in Whistler, the guy that repaired a few boards for me, who like owns a board repair shop, he actually owns the Never Summer Swift, and like he swears by Never Summer snowboards. So I think they're well made, and yeah, they look like they have some cool boards. So hopefully we'll get to try some this season. Ethan wants to know, are you going to snowboard with David Jones anytime soon? I hope so. Yeah, I've been following his fingerboard videos, and he's been crushing those. And yeah, hopefully get to ride with David soon. He's I think going to be snowboarding fairly soon. He kind of commented that in one of his videos. And if I could go to New Zealand to Cardrona to ride with him, I definitely would. But at the moment, New Zealand is shut to visitors. So maybe sometime in the next few months things will open up, and David and I will be able to ride together. Logan says, hopefully they give us a season at Bear. Yeah, I hope it opens. Yeah, that would be a crushing blow if Bear Mountain didn't open this year. Regan V Films says, what do you use on the GoPro Max to make the stick invisible? So I don't actually have to do anything. The GoPro Max like does all that for you. So basically the GoPro Max is filming in like almost 360 degrees. And then where the stick is, it actually like, I don't know, that 1 degree of footage, it actually like cuts out and then stitches those two videos together, because there's a camera on each side. It like stitches the video together, and however they do it, I guess they programmed it so that if your pole is a certain width that's narrow enough, it'll just completely cut it out. So the GoPro does that for you. What you do is you copy all the files onto your computer, and then you run them through this program. It's like a GoPro encoder that just like transfers the files into a format that you can edit with in Adobe Premiere. So that's what I do. But you can also just edit the footage on your phone as well, or on your computer with the GoPro like app. So there's a few ways to do it, but yeah, the GoPro does all the invisible stick stuff. Joe says, off-piste in Zermatt is gnarly. I rode a Rossignol XV and a Arbor Annex. Awesome. Yeah, good couple boards there, man. JM saying, man, I love watching your live stream while working late. Awesome, man. Don't work too hard. Yeah, thanks for watching as well. And Joe says, Kevin, check out Julian Sports next to Migros in town. Sweet. Yeah, I've walked by there, but it looks like it's full of like summer stuff. But yeah, I should still go in and take a look. Maybe they have a small snowboard section left. Or places may be actually getting new snowboard gear in. So that's a possibility too. And Regan saying, Hero 8 or GoPro Max? I'm a swimming, snowboarding, or skiing and mountain biking, and also what type of stick do you use to let it be invisible to the GoPro? So the stick that I use is called, I've got the phone on it right now, it's called Smartree. So it's a carbon fiber pole, and it goes out to, I think, 40 inches, which I think is a pretty good length for filming with the GoPro. But yeah, it's a tough call. So the GoPro Max, yeah, it's pretty cool. I think I would recommend the GoPro Max. It's because you can film if you're holding it yourself, and it makes the stick disappear. That's a kind of a cool thing to have. So it's really good for that way, for just filming yourself. But it's also good for filming other people. I would say it depends on what you like doing more. If you're like filming other people all the time, then the Hero 8 is probably better. But if you spend a lot of time filming yourself, then the GoPro Max is better. Yeah, and it's really cool too for the like POV view. So if you have, say for mountain biking, if you have the chest mount and you have the GoPro Max there, then you can really customize like how much of like the bike and everything else you can see. So I think the GoPro Max is really, really cool for like POV shots. So yeah, I'm leaning towards the GoPro Max. Patrick says, do you prefer shells or insulated jackets, or just dependent on the weather? Yeah, so I always wear a shell, just because with the shell you can just put as many layers on underneath as you need. So yeah, I think a shell is better, and shells are typically more waterproof too. So for me, I always try to get like a stretch Gore-Tex shell. It's like the most comfortable and just moves the best. And yeah, then you can, wear less layers on warmer days, or like put, I also have like a Burton mid-layer jacket that I'll put on colder days. So yeah, I think a shell is the way to go. And Leon saying, come on guys, we're only 2K away from 500K. Let's do this. Awesome. Thanks, Leon. Yeah, the subscriber count is like going up like crazy at the moment. I think like everyone's starting to think about snowboarding again. Everyone's snowboarding down in New Zealand, and some resorts I think are still open in Australia. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's doing well, and snowboarding is coming around not too far in the Northern Hemisphere. So yeah, thank you. If anyone hasn't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe, and then also hit the bell, and you'll get notified every time I do one of these live chats or upload a video. So yeah, thanks for that, Leon. Hunter Clark wants to know, do you have back pain? Sometimes, but I try to like, stay healthy, do some stretching or some yoga or something to not have too much back pain. But yeah, not really, but maybe once in a while. Urban Picture says, would you consider doing a live Q&A outside, like in the thumbnail? Yeah, that's a good request. So that picture was taken like 4 hours ago. So the reason I didn't do the live chat then was because for everyone, a lot of people in North America, it would have been like 4 in the morning. So yeah, that's why I did it a bit later. And at the moment, like where I'm staying in town, it's like very loud. So there's like a lot of like people on vacation, and yeah, outside it's just like mayhem. So just so that you guys could hear, that's why I did it inside. But yeah, it would be cool. Maybe the next one I'll just do it outside in the mountains. That could be really cool. Zachary says, "Hey Kevin, thoughts on the Nitro Beast? Loving the graphics for the 2021 season, but sadly can't travel anywhere to use it." Yeah, sorry to hear that, man. But yeah, I've actually seen a couple demo boards up on the mountain of the 2021 Nitro Beast. I know it's a good park board, but I think it's like an advanced to expert level park board because it's like very stiff. So, good stability, good for riding at high speeds, for hitting large jumps, for hitting big rails, but probably not the most like beginner, intermediate, or even like low advanced type of rider, type of board. But yeah, if you're at that like high advanced expert level and you want like an aggressive park board, then the Beast is the one. But yeah, just keep that in mind. But yeah, the top sheet is really cool. The 1412 says, "What size is your Capita board?" So I think I have the 158, and yeah, I'm 6'3", 185 pounds. So the 158 is like on the sizing chart. That's what it goes for me. Colin's saying, "Bro, come to India next snowboard trip." Yeah, that would be amazing. I hope I can. Yeah, that's the plan. The plan is to do that. We're going to try to make it happen for sure. And Luke saying, "How's the season looking? Need my boarding for my sanity." Yeah, it's coming around, man. Like there's still snow in the glacier here. I don't know where you are, Luke, but there may be a chance of snowboarding somewhere. There's a few spots still open, but yes, early October, mid-October in Colorado, they started to get snow, and other places in the world. October is hopefully it's a great start. Dimitri says, "Is it still snowing? How is breathing up there?" It's not still snowing, but I did see that a few days ago there was like 30 or 40 new centimeters of snow in some of the mountains here. I don't think we got that much here near Zermatt, but I think in some of the Italian parts of the Alps they got like a ton of snow, so that's crazy to see. And breathing is definitely harder. Even like talking to you guys right now, I can feel myself. It's like a slightly harder to breathe. But when you're up on the top of the mountain, if you do any kind of hike or an aggressive like a run through the park, by the end of it, you're kind of winded and you can really feel it. The first couple days were bad, but now I feel like I'm getting more used to it. So it takes a few days to get used to the altitude. Grandpa Bob saying, "Kev, your vid on riding flats and cat tracks was a game changer for me. Awesome. So glad that it helped you out. That's great to hear." And Marius with another super chat. Thanks for the support, man. Says, "When you reframe the GoPro Max footage, the resolution is 1080p, right? I got the Insta360 1R this year, and the footage stitching is very nice." Yeah, the footage comes out at 1080p. That's right. So I think it films at 5.6K, but yeah, once you run it through the reframe, then it comes out at 1080. That's right. What is the Insta360 1R come out at? Is it 1080 as well? But yeah, for me, I think the resolution is really good, and the program to edit it on in Adobe Premiere, like the GoPro like plugin, works really well. And yeah, 1080 is pretty good. I'm sure the next one they'll bump it up to like maybe not 4K, but maybe like 2.7. But yeah, so far I'm really pleased with it. And somebody says, bought a Capita spring break slasher. I'm waiting for the winter to ride. What do you think? Do you think is a good board? Yeah, that looks like a really fun board. Yeah, it's like a really fun POW board that you can have a lot of fun with. I think it's a great one. DT, Kevin, how would you grade Zermatt, like from 1 to 10? Would you recommend it? Yeah, it's up there. It's like a 9. It's like a 9, I would say. It's amazing. It's really cool. I would give it a 10, but it's so expensive. So if for Canadians, if the dollar was comparable, then it would be a 10. But yeah, it's amazing. And Royston Create says, any pro tips on speeding up the filming/editing process? Personally, I struggle a lot with editing and how long it takes me. I think that for me, like what helped speed up the process was a couple things. One, when I'm filming, I'm trying to like keep in mind like how like I have like I guess like a vision of how I want it to look. So I'm being more selective with what I film, and that can definitely help you edit faster. And then when I'm editing too, I'm like really trying to go through, like the first time I go through editing, I'm just going through and trying to delete as much as possible, because I'm trying to just like grab those highlight clips that will be in the final video. So I would say that's the biggest one, just going through, deleting as much as possible, holding on to the gems in the video, and also try not to like polish it too much. Like, put a good amount of work into it, but once it's getting close to finish, like, yeah, wrap it up so that you can get out and film another video. Because I think the regular process of like filming and editing on a regular basis is what really helps you to speed up that time as well. So yeah, don't try to like spend, like a month on one video. Try to spend a day or two, get that video up, and then on to the next one. And I think that's a good way to progress and get faster at filming and editing. Patrick says, are you optimistic about Colorado's upcoming season? Or do you think health restrictions will affect the resorts too heavily? Man, I wish I knew. I feel like when you're outdoors, as long as you're like outside and you're in the fresh air and everything, I hope they don't make it too like restrictive. I can understand when you're like indoors and you're around a lot of other people. So like maybe like in the chalet, or inside gondolas, you can kind of have things a bit like strict. But I think in terms of like chairlifts and being outside, I hope they don't, I hope they don't make it to the point where like places have to close, or that we can't. Yeah, it's a tough call, but yeah, I'm optimistic. I'm feeling like they're gonna figure it out, and yeah, the season will be good. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. And somebody wants to know, how can I improve my speed? So I think improving your speed comes from having better control over your edges. So work on your edge control, spraying snow out the side of each turn. And by being able to spray snow and control your speed exactly and as much as you like, then that allows you to actually ride faster. So yeah, work on your edge control, spraying snow at the side, and I think that will help you to pick up your speed. Dimitri says, what type of wax would you recommend for indoor snowboarding? I think like for indoor snowboarding, the temperature is pretty consistent. So I would check and see like what temperature like they run the indoor slope at, and then buy a wax that is made for that temperature. So usually the waxes come in generally like 3 different types. So like warm weather wax, cold, and then like extra cold. So probably just the regular cold weather wax would work. But yeah, you could probably like call them or check on their website and see like what the temperature is going to be, and then you can buy your wax based on that. Patrick says, dude, why Zermatt? It's way too expensive. Just go to Bund Bundnerland, like Davos. There are less touristy, cheaper places in Switzerland. Awesome. But do they have like a summer snowboard park? That's the question. Do they have a summer snowboard park? Because if they do, then yeah, I would consider it. But yeah, let me know, Patrick. Let me know, man. And sorry, I can't read this person's name, but it says, do you have a warm-up routine? What do you do to avoid injuries? Any tips for hurt knees while snowboarding? Well, first, like warm-up routine, like when I go up, I'll usually do like 1 or maybe 2 laps, and then I'll take like 10 minutes to stretch. So I do have a stretch routine. There's like 7 or 8 different stretches I do before I snowboard, so I can maybe make a video about those and share those with you guys. But I always, yeah, always do like a stretching routine first, and then I also will just continue to kind of warm up as I ride. So I'm not trying to go. I know like another YouTuber, Jonathan Buckhouse, he says he has like his first run, he just like goes for all of his hardest tricks, but I definitely like warm up. So like I take it easy when I start. So I start off with the easiest tricks I know and trying to keep it mellow. And then after a few runs, then I'll go for some more difficult ones. But yeah, that's I think a good way to avoid injuries too, is to progress slowly, start easy, and like yeah, make things more difficult as you progress and feel more confident. But and then any tips for hurt knees while snowboarding? Yeah, that's a tough one. Well, hopefully, like you've been to the doctor and had all that checked out. But yeah, it's tough to say. I don't know what you could do for a hurt knee. Maybe, I don't know, just follow what your doctor says. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say from there. But yeah, I hope your knee feels better. And yeah, I'll make that, I'll try to get out a warm up routine video for snowboarding. That sounds like a good one. Zachary says, where would you recommend someone to stay in Whistler Village during the winter season for a month? Oh, for a month. Oh, wow. Um, Man, I think Whistler's the kind of place where no matter where you stay, it's like not too far from the mountain or from a gondola. So, like, if you can stay in Whistler Village, that's probably if you like to go out to eat and like have everything very convenient, and if you don't have a car, then Whistler Village is definitely the most convenient spot. But if you have a car, you can definitely stay a bit further away from the village and some of the other areas. And if you want to like live in the village for a month and like you're on a budget, there's a good bus system that goes to all the different neighborhoods. So you can definitely stay in any of the neighborhoods in Whistler, even some of the ones that are a bit further out, like Emerald is like, I think the furthest village is maybe a 20-minute bus ride. So yeah, you're pretty good. It just depends on, yeah, like your budget and what kind of things you like, what you like, because not everyone likes to stay in the village, but it is like very convenient. But yeah, I hope you have a great trip, man. And Dimitri says, "Hi Kevin, I have seen you snowboarding in the Netherlands, indoor. What is your feedback about this place?" Yeah, so it's called Landgraf, and yeah, I was really impressed. It's huge. There's like one like run that's like wide open that you can just like turn down. So like a really good spot for doing that. It's got like a decent sized terrain park, surprisingly too. So it's got the whole, yeah, like the indoor park set up. So yeah, I was really impressed. It's awesome, Landgraf. Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. A few people mentioning the stretching videos. Yeah, we'll get one of those out for you guys. Yelling Sheep, awesome name, man. Says, now that I saw this, I want to go snowboarding right now. Awesome. Uh, yeah, I hope we have an early season. Matt Norton says, I'm going to Colorado for the first time early this December. Anywhere I should visit in Keystone or Breck? Yeah, yeah, it's really cool area. Where could you visit? I really like the barn or like the indoor training spot over by Copper Mountain. You can do like trampolining and like some cool stuff over there. So maybe check that out. Yeah, where else? Keystone and Breck. So like food wise, there's definitely some good food places. There's like an awesome sandwich shop called what's it called? Oh, I forget what it's called. But there's like a good sandwich spot. Do you guys remember the name? But yeah, there's once I remember, I'll give an update to the chat. Oh, Royce and Create says, what has your favorite meal been on the trip so far? Ooh, that's a tough one. Okay. I'll like not include any like homemade meals because we've had lots of amazing ones of those. But so outside, actually the really expensive burger on top of the mountain was really good. So I would say that it was my favorite meal. It was like I think it was like a Beyond Meat burger, and yeah, all the toppings were awesome. The fries were really good, and yeah, maybe it tasted like better too because it was so expensive. But and it was cool eating up on like the restaurant on the top of like the highest point on the gondola. It's like it's a miracle that they built a restaurant up there because it just looks like a tiny peak with a gondola going into it and then a restaurant attached. And yeah, that was probably the best meal so far outside of the home cooking because everything we've been eating at home has been amazing too. Adam wants to know, is this your full-time gig? Yeah, it's my full-time gig. Yeah, just been doing the YouTube videos since 2011 and just keep building it up. And yeah, it's full-time gig, YouTube. Oh, Maria says, definitely going to Whistler one day. Got to search for the hidden tunnel. Awesome. I don't know why that's so funny. But yeah, you should definitely come to Whistler one day, and there's definitely some cool stuff. Oh, and the name of the sandwich spot is Chiba Hut. Chiba Hut is that's my favorite place to eat in the county there. Chiba Hut for sure. Oh, I think El Stacker's on here as well. What's up, El Stacker? Thanks for joining. I know it's super early over there, probably in Boise, Idaho, but thanks for hopping on. Shout out to all the moderators on the chat as well. Red's Cap, thanks for helping out with being a moderator. Joe Pesh says, is the Italian side open? It is actually, yeah. So the cool thing, I don't know if you guys know this, but when you go up Zermatt, there's actually, so you can come up from the Switzerland side, or you can also come up from the Italian side. So yeah, the Italian side is open. And I was talking to somebody, I think most of the snowboarders are actually from Italy, which is really cool. So yeah, may actually stay on the Italian side next month. So we're looking into that. But yeah, it's really cool. So you go up to the top of the mountain and there's people from Switzerland and Italy. And after the day of riding, we each go to different countries. So it's pretty wild. Luke is saying, I always hate going to Bear Mountain since it's normally crazy crowded. Did you notice that? I didn't notice it was too crazy crowded, but maybe it was because I went in March and it didn't seem that busy to me. There was a couple days, actually, I'll be honest, there was a few days where the park did get a little bit crowded and crazy with people, but it wasn't the kind of crowded where there's like a line to hit a feature. It was more just kind of people cruising through the park. So that was actually not too bad, to be honest. Like I didn't mind, and there was like pretty much never a lift line. So maybe it was because I went in March, but yeah, I didn't find it too bad. DT saying Canadian food or Swiss. Oh man, I haven't eaten that much Swiss food yet to be able to compare it, but I think maybe there's more options in Canada for me. So maybe right now I'll say Canadian, but I've had some amazing Swiss food too. And the bread here is the best for sure. I'm getting some bread emojis. Yeah, the bread in Switzerland is the best. Probably like the quality of the food is probably better in Switzerland. Royce and Cray says, I go back and watch the Japan videos all the time just to see the dank ramen. Can you tell it's lunchtime where I am? Nice, man. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, the food in Japan is awesome too. And Bad Rider saying, keen to collab, Kev, my Insta360 versus the GoPro Max. Yeah, let's do it, Adam. Yeah, let's collab. I feel like the GoPro Max is, I don't know. Maybe they're the same. Yeah, we'll have to find out. There must be some videos on there, but which one's easier to edit? That's another big factor. Which one can you edit with the fastest? And Midnight saying, what can I do to practice snowboarding when I'm not on a slope or snow? So you can you can build yourself like an off snow trainer. So there's a few videos on the channel for like a DIY off snow training setup. So yeah, check that out. You can build like a little setup, or get into skateboarding. Like skateboarding is an amazing way to like build your balance and like get yourself ready for the snowboard season. Other board sports do well too, like wakeboarding or surfing, but skateboarding is probably the best thing you can do off season. Tomer is saying, just got some Union Contact Pros. So stoked. Awesome, man. Yeah, the great bindings. Joe says, what's your advice on buying a split board setup? Awesome. Yeah, good question, Joe. So yeah, the setup I have is the Jones Solution. And yeah, I really love that setup for sure. I would say like consider like where you're going to be split boarding and like what type of riding you want to do, because now there's so many different split boards with like they're like splitting basically all kinds of different types of boards. So yeah, if you're into more like tree and like mellow powder riding, then you could look at a board that is more designed for that. Maybe something like I think the Mind Expander they have a split board version of that. And some other boards in that category. But yeah, if you're more into the bigger mountain split boarding, then check out something like the Jones Solution. And yeah, there's comparable other ones, but yeah, think of like what type of powder you're going to be riding in, and then buy the type of board that would be best for that. But yeah, that's pretty much my only piece of advice, because I don't have a ton of experience like with a lot of different split boarding equipment. But yeah, I think if you get the board that's best for the type of snowboarding you want to do, then the whole like yeah split boarding up the mountain is yeah, it's a super fun, enjoyable experience. But yeah, have fun with it. Good question, Joe. Matt Norton says, took me like a minute to find the like button. Awesome, man. Well, thanks for finding it. Yeah, 58 likes. Appreciate it, guys. Royston Create says, does the GoPro Max have the same image stabilization as the Hero 8? I don't know if it's the same one, but I think because it's a 360 video, it comes out very smooth. I think it may be more stable. Yeah, I think there's like no shakiness, nothing. So yeah, it's a very stable setup for sure. Awesome, guys. So gonna end the live chat there. But yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in, for hanging out, for asking some great questions. And yeah, big shout out to everyone who dropped super chat. Thank you for the support. And thanks for everyone for liking the video as well. If you guys haven't yet, definitely subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified every time I do one of these or upload a video. And stay tuned, because I'm going to be dropping a lot of videos from here in Zermatt, Switzerland. So yeah, the next video is going to be a vlog, and then I have a video where I give some advice for progressing on boxes and rails. So if you guys want to check out those videos, definitely make sure to subscribe. But yeah, big shout out. It was great talking to you guys. I hope you guys have a great week and are enjoying the summer or the winter, depending on where you guys are. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Have a great week, guys. I'll talk to you guys next Thursday. See you guys.